Next up, we're going to go to Timothy Wheaton of Calf Kick Sports. Go ahead, Timothy.
Thanks for taking my question. Appreciate your time today. In terms of career significance, where does this fight with Stamp rank to you?
This is definitely the biggest fight of my career. By far. I mean, she has her credentials. She's a world champion as well in the striking arts. But mixed martial arts is a whole new game. But yeah, she's a dangerous opponent. She's fought her way to the number one contender position, and now it's time to meet each other in the cage. So
absolutely. And leading up to this fight, she has been very respectful towards you. Do you like the respect, or would you prefer a little bit of trash talk?
No, I appreciate it. I do appreciate I think that I honestly don't think there's no need for that. This is a professional sport and we're keeping it professional. It's different, people usually have a lot of animosity or they like to hype up the fight, and it's always in a negative way, but we're hyping up the fight in our own way, with respect, and we're letting our skills speak for itself.
That's great to hear. And thank you so much for your time. Best of luck in the upcoming match.
Our next question comes from Timothy Wheaton of Calf Kick Sports.
DJ, how you doing today, man?
Good. How are you?
Hanging out, the usual stuff. I wanted to ask you, earlier tonight, we had Akiyama call out Mike Tyson for a boxing fight. DJ, do you want to call out Mike Tyson for a boxing fight as well?
Nah. I don't need to fight one of the greatest boxers of all time. Mike Tyson is basically ready to fight one of the Paul brothers. I don't know what he's got going on, but if Mike Tyson were to fight Sexyama, I don't even think Mike Tyson would get approved because he smokes a lot of weed, and weed is not allowed in Asia. So that fight would have to take place in U.S. shore, which I doubt that'll happen. So, I don't want to call out Mike Tyson.
Good answer, man. One last question, and then I'll jump off. But what are you playing right now? What games are you playing at the moment?
I am playing Lost Ark. It's a great game. It's been out for 5 or 6 years in Korea and Russia. So right now I'm trying to get my character to a good place where I can jump back on Escape from Tarkov because I missed.
On would we go to Timothy Wheaton of Calf Kick Sports.
Hey, thanks so much for taking my question. I just have one question for you. Your next opponent, when you made your MMA debut, she was just 11 years old. How does it feel fighting across so many different generations and being a trailblazer in the sport?
Yeah, recently there's so many young fighters, and I kind of think about that. When I debuted there, they were only the elementary school kids. It's kind of weird feelings, but yeah, it's great to fight for a long period of time and feel those kind of changes in the surrounding fighters. But young people learn fast, and like thinking about other sports, it's kind of similar thing happens, and I always respect them. So I respect and learn a lot from young fighters. So yeah, I can't wait to fight.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for taking the question. Got 2 questions for you, John Wayne Parr. First of all, what do you remember as the most accomplished moment of your storied career? And we also have a listener question for you, and you're the most qualified person to answer. In your experience, what is the biggest difference between fighting native Thai fighters versus foreign fighters in Muay Thai?
Okay. So the biggest accomplishment was the S1 at Raja Modern Stadium in Bangkok. I had to fight 3 times in 2 hours. I fought a Russian, a French gentleman, and then I fought a Thai had previously beaten me 3 times in a row. And then I finally beat him. And then it was $1 million, a world title, and a trophy from the Prime Minister of Thailand, all on Thai TV. So, and the next day, I went down to the news agent, and every every newspaper and magazine, it was just, my face was everywhere. It was just absolutely amazing. And then walking down the street, tuk-tuks and taxis would just stop on the side of the road and jump out and ask for photos. It was like, I'm getting recognized by Thais. This is the dream. So that was definitely the biggest moment. And then and the difference between fighting Thais and non-Thais. Thais are so precise. Westerners come with a little more craziness, whereas Thais are so calculated and so powerful. When they hit you, and if there's a 50-cent piece on your arm, they get that piece every single time. It's they're so brutal. Westerners are crazy because they come at all different angles and you never know, and they don't stop. Whereas Thais are a bit more calculated and a bit more cunning. So fighting Thais is fun because you get to play the game in.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thanks so much for the answer. Appreciate that. Best of luck in your upcoming match, eh?
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you.
Lovely.